Lead yourself first. Why self-leadership, not productivity, will shape the future of work. You can tell a lot about a company by what it rewards and what it tolerates. That's why the rise of productivity should worry us. You've seen it. Maybe you've done it. People are clacking away on their keyboards with performative intensity. They are scheduling unnecessary meetings to appear busy. They are more concerned with their image than with the quality of their work. It's a theater of activity, and it's exhausting. But the real question is why we've ended up here. It's not because people are lazy. Too many workplaces send a quiet but consistent message. You're only valuable if you look busy. When that becomes the norm, a dangerous situation arises. People stop leading themselves. They wait for permission. They stop taking risks. They default to the safest, most visible path. What remains is learnt helplessness, disguising itself as compliance. We don't talk enough about learned helplessness in the workplace. The concept originated with psychologist Martin Seligman, who studied how people and animals respond when they feel they have no control over outcomes. The result? They give up. Even when a way forward becomes available, they stop trying because they've internalized that effort won't make a difference. Sound familiar? You see it when teams stop offering new ideas. When someone shrugs and says, "That's just how things are here." In meetings, individuals often remain silent, adhere strictly to established procedures, and play it safe to ensure their safety. The issue isn't a motivation problem, it's a leadership problem. More specifically, it's a cultural problem. Self-leadership is the antidote. At its heart, self-leadership is the ability to own your work, manage your mindset, and take proactive steps towards meaningful goals without constant direction. It's not about being an independent individual. It's about being resourceful, resilient, and ready to lead from wherever you are. And no, it doesn't mean doing more with less or hiding burnout behind buzzwords like empowerment. That's just exploitation in a new outfit. Self-leadership, if properly done, unlocks 5 major wins for organizations. Higher productivity. Self-leaders manage their time, energy, and priorities more effectively because they're working towards purpose, not approval. More innovation. They're less afraid to try new things because they don't wait to be told what's allowed. Greater engagement. When people feel responsible for their growth, they're more invested in outcomes. Better internal pipelines. Future leaders emerge naturally because they already think and behave like owners. Improved collaboration. Ironically, self-leaders make better team players. They take accountability without power games and know when to step forward and when to step back. But here's the catch. Self-leadership doesn't grow in a vacuum. We love to celebrate self-starters and proactive people, but how often do we ask what made them that way? This is because a person who thrives in one culture may not thrive in another. Self-leadership is situational. People retreat if the environment is unclear, controlling, or full of conflicting signals. If you're not seeing enough initiative, ask yourself, have we created a workplace where people are actually able to lead themselves? Or are we just hoping they'll rise above a system that's working against them? Middle managers are holding too much, and getting too little nowhere is the tension between old control-based systems and new expectations more visible than in middle management. These people turn vision into action, strategy into service, and policy into practice, all while managing the messiness of human behavior. But they're also stuck in the squeezed middle. They must not only empower their teams, but also enforce standards. They must not only think strategically, but also remain attentive to the details. They must deliver results, maintain morale, resolve conflict, explain decisions, manage up, and coach down, all while avoiding burnout. No wonder they're reporting higher stress, frustration, and isolation levels. And yet, we often overlook them in leadership development. Senior execs get coaching. Junior staff get onboarding. Middle managers, they get firefighting. Group coaching is not fluffy, it's fuel. This is the area where group coaching is gaining significant momentum. People no longer view group coaching as a luxury, but as a practical and scalable approach to develop individuals performing the most demanding business tasks. Done well, group coaching gives middle managers a place to share real-life challenges and dilemmas in a safe space. Learn from peers, not just presenters. Build confidence and clarity in their leadership identity. Practice coaching and feedback in real time. Create strong internal networks that break down silos. And here's what makes it stick. Because they're setting goals in front of their peers, they're far more likely to follow through. Accountability goes up. So does learning retention. And maybe most importantly, so does belief. Middle managers stop feeling like they're failing alone. They start to realize that the messiness is normal and that they have the tools and support to lead through it. If you want more ownership, stop hoarding control. Self-leadership isn't about pushing responsibility downward. It's about shifting your relationship with control. Here are 3 mindset flips that need to happen. From task management to outcome clarity. Set the direction. Then trust people to choose the route. Micromanagement kills agency and creativity. From performance to reflection. Build check-ins focusing on learning, not just updates. What's worked for you this week is far more potent than what have you done? From permission to possibility. Encourage risk-taking. Celebrate thoughtful failure. Make it safe to try something different, even if it doesn't land perfectly. Comfort zones do not foster growth. Also, let's not blame the weather. Yes, it's sunny. Yes, some people are working from rooftops and pub gardens, but honestly, does it matter if someone can do their job well with iced coffee and fresh air? The real issue isn't sunshine, it's trust. If your initial response to a heat wave is to tighten control and check who's online, you're addressing the incorrect issue. You don't have a weather problem, you have a culture problem. When people feel trusted, they don't need to fake their presence. They step up, they lead themselves. So what can you actually do next week? Let's keep this practical. Here are 3 things to try straight away. Start every one-on-one with one question. Where do you feel most in control of your work? And where do you feel least? Then listen. Really listen. What they say will tell you everything about the culture you've built. Run a middle manager huddle. No slides, no updates. Just a 45-minute session to talk openly about what's hard right now and what's working. If you've got access to a coach, even better. Audit your productivity signals. What behaviors are being rewarded or tolerated that don't actually move the needle? Are meetings being held just for their own sake? Over-monitoring? Consider what you need to stop, not just what you want to start. Final thought. Self-leadership is a muscle, not a mindset. It needs room, practice, and the right conditions to grow. We need to model it, not mandate it. So if you're serious about building a more agile, empowered, high-performing culture, stop telling people to take ownership and start creating the conditions where they can. The future of work doesn't revolve around whether an individual logs in from a desk or a deck chair. It's about whether they feel they have enough space, trust, and support to truly lead themselves. And that starts with us.